Hello everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel and welcome to my Doctor Strange Day. Yes, I've coined this Doctor Strange Day for the release of Doctor Strange 2. Now this is an intro before my intro to this video. So today I have got for you 4 videos relating to Doctor Strange throughout the course of today. So how fantastic is that? And this is before I give you my review of the new Doctor Strange film itself. Yes, that will be coming as well over the next few days. So, you know, what can you do to help that out? You can help the channel out. You can hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when these videos come up so you can catch them. There's going to be a number of reviews and something else as well. So anyway, so this is AJ and we're just going to get straight into the introduction for this video now. Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel. We're just days away from the release of Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. And I am stoked for it. I certainly am looking forward to it. So I thought I would revisit the original Doctor Strange and give you my thoughts on the film. So let's get into it. Okay, by the original Doctor Strange, I don't mean the first Benedict Cumberbatch one. I don't mean the animated movie that Marvel done. I'm talking about this film from the late 1970s. Yes, there was a Doctor Strange film done, TV movie, a long time ago. And I've never seen it. I did buy it because I'm a completist for all comic book content, but I've never actually watched this. So here I am with a smile on my face. I'm going to go and watch it. And I'm going to come back and tell you my thoughts. And we'll see if that smile has dissipated at all. I have a feeling that it may very well dissipate. Not only that, but when I come back, I'm going to have my Barnet cut as well. Getting rid of this. It needs a bit of a trim. It's getting long. But there we go. So yeah, so I really am looking forward to Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange 1. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic in the role. He wasn't my first choice to play Doctor Strange. I was a bit like, when they cast him. But he has certainly made the character his own. And I love him in the role. What was it, 2016 when that first came out? I remember seeing it. I saw it down in Exeter. Cinema in Exeter, because I was actually working away for a week in that area. And me and a mate, a colleague of mine, we went to see it. Fantastic. Now, it's amazing to me that it's taken this long to get a sequel to Doctor Strange. In the time that it's taken to go from Doctor Strange 1 to Doctor Strange 2, we have had 3 Spider-Man films. Go figure. So I wasn't too excited about the last Spider-Man film. It was an okay movie for me, but I am stoked for Doctor Strange 2. I truly am. So anyway, so I'm going to get away. I'm going to go and settle down for a few hours, get my hair cut. I'm going to watch this film. Now I'm going to come back here and I'm going to tell you how fantastic this movie is. Let's do it and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I'm back. Yes, I've got the old Barnet cut. Haven't shaved the beard yet, but there you go. And now I'm going to talk about this movie. Yes, I've just sat down. I've watched it. It is a first-time watch for me. So there we go. So this film here, this was released on September 6th of 1978 on the CBS network in the United States. It was a TV movie that was acting as a pilot episode to open up the door for a potential ongoing TV series. CBS network had a lot of joy with the Hulk and this sort of a thing, and yeah, so the Hulk, Doctor Strange was going to be a TV series. This never came to pass. It never happened. So this sits alone in that category as a TV movie. It was a pilot that didn't go to series, unfortunately. Now, this film was directed by Philip de Geer Jr. Now, he's only got several directing credits to his name other than this, which are 2 episodes of the original Twilight Zone and 2 episodes of Black Sheep Squadron, although he does have a wealth of writing credits to his name, even more recently with things like Jag, the TV series, and things like this. The film stars Peter Hooton as Dr. Stephen Strange, Clyde Custsu as Wong, Jessica Walter as Morgan Le Fay, and Sir John Mills as Linma, who is essentially like the Ancient One, or a version of the Ancient One in this. The former Doctor Strange, shall we say. So, what can I say about this film? What can I say? So, like I said, this film came out, it was made in 1978, so don't expect anything over fantastical about it. The film is very much a product of its time. It looks like it's set in the 70s. It's filmed like it's in the 70s. It's in the old TV square box kind of format. The hair, the clothing, it's all of that era. The musical score for the film is of that era also. Now, the story follows the character of Doctor Strange, obviously, but what happens is that Jessica Walter, Morgan Le Fay, is tasked with 3 days to get dispatch of the Ancient One and his successor, meaning Stephen Strange. If she's unsuccessful in dispatching of the primary one, you go after the secondary as well, sort of thing. Now, she's been sort of trapped in this otherworldly dimension, much like the sort of thing we see in Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange film that you know from the MCU. You've got her on this sort of set, which is quite otherworldly, I'll give it that. It looked like a 1970s version of what we get in Doctor Strange when he's fighting Dormammu, essentially. And she's talking to this being that you could mistake as being Dormammu, I suppose. This giant creature type thing that's there talking down to her. But it's obviously some sort of a puppetised stop motion kind of a thing that they've used. But it strikes images of the Dormammu stuff from that, and he tasks Le Fay with this task. Now, Morgan Le Fay, as you know, is from sort of Arthur, or may not know, is from Arthurian legend, but was taken into the Marvel comics and utilised as a villain, first appearing in Spider-Woman, a Spider-Woman comic, I believe, and utilised here for the purposes of villainy in this series. So she comes along and she kind of bewitches this young girl, shall we say, to kill or attempt to kill Sir John Mills's character Linda by throwing him over railings onto a road where he subsequently gets hit by a car. That part is done off camera. The over the railing you see, but he's just then lying there, and then he gets up and he's still alive, and he walks off. Oh, my hip essentially. And then uses some sort of glowy power on his hand to fix himself. And all fine, all good, nothing done, no bad. He's all good. Which begs a reason as to why I'd do it in the first place, but there you go. Story reasons. She then starts going a bit, cuckoo, shall we say. Not very PC there, am I? But she gets put into this, taken into this psychiatric place where she meets Doctor Strange, who is a psychiatric doctor in this, not a doctor who uses his hands. He uses his mind. So there's no injury to this Doctor Strange on his journey to becoming Doctor Stephen Strange. So he helps her out, and they battle it out he battles it out with Le Fay, and finally he sort of like gets tempted by her because she quite likes him and she wants him, and by the end he beats her and basically becomes Doctor Strange. The story's quite weak in this, to be honest. The acting is not particularly great. It is that 1970s style over-the-top acting. Peter Hooton as Doctor Strange, he seems too smiley a lot of the time. He's smiling and his eyes are smiling at points in the film where he shouldn't really be smiling. Wong comes across as more like a butler kind of a character than anything else. Jessica Walter as Morgan Le Fay, she's chewing up the scenery as this character, especially when she's donned in her sort of enchantress outfit, the enchantress dress, as opposed to when she's in the earthly realm in earth clothes. Now, Doctor Strange himself, you don't really see him in his outfit. Towards the end, he gets donned in a cloak, and that by her when she's tempting him over to the dark side. But by the end of it, he does get his Doctor Strange garb, which looks far inferior to what he was dressed in 5 minutes beforehand, what she had dressed him in, so to speak, which would have made for a far superior Doctor Strange outfit than what we're given at the end with this silly star on the chest. And it does look like an awfully cheap outfit. But as for the film, I was intrigued, let's just say that. As it started, I was sort of intrigued by what I saw, that this other realm, because you open in this other realm where you're introduced to Morgan Le Fay, and to be honest, it looked interesting in a very cheap 1970s way. This hasn't got a big budget, obviously, whatsoever, so don't expect anything fantastical from it. But it was like, oh, you know, comparing the similarities to this, to the visuals in the current Doctor Strange film for 2016, I believe it was 2016, it's quite intriguing to see the comparison. Like, you know, obviously they're using the comics as a blueprint for the both, but in the 1970s this would have been done to like some sort of decent effect, I suppose, at that point. But yeah, where this film drops is on the story, because it's essentially an origin story for Doctor Strange. It's you know, he's Stephen Strange. We're introduced to him as the Doctor. We go through all the stuff for him as the Doctor, and by the end he steps into the role of Doctor Strange, and that's literally it. At the very end, he doesn't even sort of do any fighting, as well, not very much as Doctor Strange. Most of the powers and the special effects are shown as sort of lightning bolts out of people's hands more than anything else. There's nothing real other work, you know, anything else in the way of effects from the characters. We do get a visit to the astral realm. Doctor Strange does go through that, and it's much like him going through a sort of kaleidoscope type of effect thing, sort of maybe the old Doctor Who's, and he's floating along. A lot of it gave me reminders of Superman the movie, where he's flying with Lois because he goes into the astral realm to get the girl's sort of astral self back out, because she's far deeper into a dream world in her cuckoo state than what we know that she is, basically. Now, in these bits, it's filmed in that sort of hazy look, where they sort of would rub a bit of Vaseline on the lens of the camera to give you that sort of haze. So much so that there are points where it's very dark and you can't see what's particularly well going on. It's very dark. You see some red lights and things like this. So, but the film does its best with what it's got, and it was an intriguing watch. I'll give it that. It was an interesting watch, something that I haven't seen. Is it something that I'd revisit? No, I wouldn't revisit it again. I know there's an upcoming Blu-ray release for it in the United States. Is it something that I would clamour for on Blu-ray? No, I've got it on DVD. That's where it shall remain. It's not a film that I shall revisit. There we go. Anyway, those were my thoughts on this 1970s version of Doctor Strange. There we go. That's it. AJ, done. Now, if that interested you, I will have another Doctor Strange review today. I've got 4 Doctor Strange videos coming up. That's the plan at the minute as I sit here saying this, and we'll see what comes of that. Anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, whatever it may be. Now, when this came out, I was running around having my terrible twos. So, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't even aware of who Doctor Strange was at the time. But there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall see you all later. And I'm very much aware that my Eye of Agamotto has gone out, and I don't know why. It's gone out because it is on a timer.